How do you think he did it? What was it that he saw in the 1940s that could predict our present moment?
Yeah, so I thought a lot about that because I had a feeling you might come at me with a question like that. And as I sort of referenced earlier, so he wrote it in the late 40s. So you're coming off of World War II. So I don't know specifically, and I'm sure people have thought about this a lot. And I was really trying to think through. I think maybe more than anything else, what makes good literature or what makes a good movie or any piece of art.
He's actually walking away from it. Speaking of high-level ideas, if the dial of ideas was turned up to 11, it's quickly been turned into the hot position because apparently Dave Rubin has been reading. He's been reading. He's a voracious reader. You don't know this, but he's here. And he's read 1984. It's a book by a goddamn socialist. Goddamn commie. That's right. And I'm sure he knows that. I'm sure he's going to talk about that. I'm sure he's going to talk about how he volunteered actually in the Spanish Civil War. So that'll be good. Let's learn.
Welcome back to the book club.
Borg is one of the very few good impressions you've done. It doesn't affect me. Has no effect whatsoever, as you can clearly see. I do a half decent Alex Jones, okay? From time to time.
I'm Michael Knowles. The book this month, very timely, 1984 by George Orwell. But first, in our fast-paced world, it is tough to make reading a priority. We all know that. Well, at least it used to be. But at thinker.org, they summarize the key ideas from new and noteworthy nonfiction, giving you...
I'm not doing any more impressions, chat. Never again. No, you just get plain old Lance. I hope you like vanilla ice cream. I hope your favorite flavor of ice cream is vanilla, okay? Because that's what you're going to deal with from now on. I hope you enjoy it, all right? You know, there's other flavors, okay? There's mint chocolate chip. There's sorbets, cum. But no, you're going to get vanilla. That's right. Good old creamy vanilla Lance from now on. So there you go. You did this, chat.
Access. Finally, they're caught out.
Doesn't end well.
Does not end well for him. And then, as you just alluded to, at the very end, they're torturing him and trying to break his spirit and trying to break his mind. How do they do it?
He fears rats, and they put basically a contraption.
Oh, I can't do it. Listen to him. He fears rats. I learned so many things from this book. It's great. There's a chapter where there's rats and there's a room. He goes in and gin or something. I don't know.
On him with rats, and they're trying to, in effect, get him to sort of out himself and her and the people that are rebelling, in essence. And he basically points to her and causes them to put the rat trap on her, and
sells her
that's sort
out.
of what we're dealing with right now.
Well,
I mean,
and there's also this point, once he says, go get her, get her, there's this intellectual admission where they say, what is 2 + 2?
Yeah.
And what is 2 + 2 is 4.
No. 5.
You have to say, you have to believe that 2 + 2 = 5.
Look, everything, it's so bizarre to see this right now or to read this. So I originally read the book, I think I was in 11th grade. So this is like 92 or something like that, 93. It's a long time ago. And then I reread it over the last couple months. And, on Twitter, it's like everything that we're seeing, nothing means anything anymore. The way words are constantly used, everything that we hear, without making this too political to the day right now. So much of it is hard not to, but so much of what we hear about
the smugness and these snowflakes, they need the safest spaces known to man. Like, could you imagine him having a conversation with anybody who even remotely disagrees with him? Like, not even someone who's cognitive, but someone who's just I kind of don't think you got it. It's not really about rats and 2 + 2 = 5. Like that's very surface level. That is literally what the words are printed on the page, but like you're not really getting into the higher concepts here.
From the left is exactly what 1984 is about. So words are violence now, but violence is not violence. These are things that they create to actually make us question everything. And then once you question everything, well, then gender is up for question, and all of the things that should be settled are no longer settled. And then what I completely forgot about that I found was interesting is that one of the things that they're also trying to sort of untie, that the Ministry of Truth is trying to untie, is the idea of time. And it does feel like right now that time feels a little weird. It's partly because of the lockdown, partly because, you know, we're trapped at home, we're all on social media. But doesn't time feel sort of strange right now? Like any...
Okay, I haven't read 1984 since high school, and I loved it. Okay, it's one of those books that it really left an imprint on me. So my ability to completely dissect this will be challenging. However, it's Dave Rubin, so I think I'm going to be up to the task. We'll see. We'll try some things. The idea that he was just talking about when it came to doublespeak, I believe doublespeak or doublethink. I'm probably not going to remember the terms right. The idea of it was fascinating. What Orwell was writing about was how the very idea of language can actually control the way in which we enact in the real world. Not in the way that he's thinking. He's thinking that there's going to be the policing of language, that we're not going to be able to say certain things. Like, oh no, I can't call people by the wrong gender because that's what everyone on my circle of friends want me to do. It has to do with the fact that if you remove the word protest from the English language, if we didn't know what the word protest is, would we still be able to protest? Would we have a concept of that? Do words and languages exist independent of our understanding of them? That's what the point of it was. And it's still incredibly, incredibly astute.
Anything could happen at any given minute. Of us are racists. They're the ones that are pushing racism into society everywhere. They're the ones that are saying black people should have special dorms and that white people shouldn't, you know, be allowed to have certain jobs, or that they shouldn't be considered equally. Those are racist notions.
That's definitely what Black Lives Matter has been saying. Yeah, they've been saying we don't want white people to have certain jobs. That is a fact. That is, don't look it up. Don't look it up, chat. Don't Google it. Just believe it. Just believe it. Okay, it's been said. It's known now. Yeah, it is known. It is the way.
So we live in a time where everything has been flipped, and for the few of us that have a little bit of the spark of Winston, it's like, how do you make sure you're not one of the people who at the end is going 2 + 2 = 5? I'm not sure. I will tell you one other thing. I'm actually watching The Handmaid's Tale right now. Did you watch it by any chance?
I did. I've seen some of it, not the whole thing.
So I'm watching it right now, and the parallels to 1984 are absolutely incredible, because this is exactly what the main character, June, is going through.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I hope, like, Margaret Atwood is live, by the way. I hope she sees this. I really hope this gets out to her. Maybe I'll tweet this out. Maybe I'll take a little clip and I'll try tweeting it at her and be like, oh, did you know? Did you know that Mr. Dave Rubin seems to think that the modern left, the Antifas, the protesters, the Black Lives Matter, the anti-fascists, that's what your book was about, right? Like, those were the ones suppressing people and forcing them to have kids in some kind of weird patriarchal, religious, militant, dystopian nightmare. That was Black Lives Matter and Antifa, right? Because those are the real racists. That it's reversed, right? That's what 1984 is about too. I'm reading this right? I'm getting these high level ideas.
And
do that is institute segregation.
Through segregation. Look, think about it this way. What's like the hottest book on the left right now? It's White Fragility.
Yes.
What's the subtitle of White Fragility? I don't know what it is exactly, but in essence, it's something like how white people can blah, blah, blah. That's racist.
Yeah.
That in and of itself is racist. Yeah. Forget white fragility. Well, but then if you say how white people, the implication is all white people are this, whatever this is. That is racist. So they hold these two ideas that are completely at odds with each other, and they hold it because that allows you to believe anything basically at any given time.
And that's doublethink. I did the thing. I double thunk. I think, like, Dave Rubin's entire career is doublethink. Man, holy shit, he's doublethink the human. That's what he is. He's just a living doublethink. That's what he is. Like, I know you love me. I know you love me, Ben, but you can't bake me that gay cake. But you will one day, which I don't want. I don't want it. I don't want you to bake me the gay cake, but at the same time, I know you love me, where you actively vilify and hate me at the same time. So
this is the key. You know, so many words just have entered our language because of this book. Words like doublethink or newspeak or Big Brother is one. And newspeak is the one I want to focus on, because newspeak is political correctness. And the theory of newspeak is that the party,
how did this happen? I'm just flabbergasted. Like, you know, the expression notwithstanding, like George Orwell would be rolling around in his grave. But I think quite literally, yes, whatever dust or particles that exist, they're going to reform into an angry boot that is going to be smashing on a face. I'm serious. I'm not just making that up, by the way. Picture the future, that this is a George Orwell quote. It's a boot smashing onto a human skull. Like that's from 1984. Are they not going to talk about how it's a dystopian future where there's a fascist, authoritarian ruling class of bourgeois people? Like it's all there.
Or the other side, whatever it is, and then just run with it. But to know it and then be like,
what do I do now? Because you look and it seems like no matter who wins the election, no matter which party wins, certain things just keep on happening. We lose more and more of our freedoms. We rack up more and more of our debt. The culture keeps going more and more in one direction. It doesn't seem to matter who wins.
I dare make a pro-Trump comment. I don't know if I'm allowed.
We'll certainly be censored by the Ministry of Truth on the internet.
Somebody's not going to be happy about this.
Oh, first time he's ever done that. Exciting. Well, I mean, you know, as a classical liberal, he's going to be in uncharted territory here, but let's see.
But in many ways, when I was rereading it, I kept thinking, man, what they needed was a Trump. You know what I mean? Because what was Trump, or what is Trump? He just sort of broke through all of this. If you're talking about how do you break the duopoly, how do you break the false choices, how do you break political correctness, all of these things, who has been the greatest breaker of those things? It's been Trump. So it's like, in a weird way, if the book had ended and there suddenly was this person who was just willing to do it for some very bizarre reason, and perhaps he was orange and had weird hair, like then I guess you see some hope, but you don't.
That's peak Rubin. I don't think we'll ever come to anything close to that. You know, 1984 could have been saved by Donald Trump. Yep, a man who has decidedly made life better for all Americans across the board. Really, for some reason, we don't know why. Just weird, just there. You know, the dial of ideas has never been turned up this hot before, all right? It was tepid before, and then it got turned up a little bit, but now it's like the dial of ideas is fully ripped off. Like it's gone. There's no more dial. We can retire it. Okay? That is a great piece for him. Oh,
Don't get the orange.
I hate to be more pessimistic than you, because I see the same sort of thing you do. I think part of the reason why people in both parties don't like Donald Trump is because he broke the rules. He messed up the system a little. Though I do think it sort of remains to be seen if that will have a lasting effect, or if the culture and the politics keeps careening in this same direction. The question I want to leave you on is, how do you think he did it? What was it that he saw in the 1940s that could predict our present moment?
Yeah, so I thought a lot about that because I had a feeling you might come at me with a question like that. And as I sort of referenced earlier, so he wrote it in the late 40s. So you're coming off of World War II. So I don't know specifically, and I'm sure people have thought about this a lot. And I was really trying to think through. I think maybe more than anything else, what makes good literature or what makes a good movie or any piece of art
he's actually walking away
is that
from
it is able to capture something that is timeless. And the struggle constantly, you know, this is why the struggle right now, even though we think of it as Democrat versus Republican or Trump versus Biden or whatever it is, it's like all it really is always is you versus the system. It's the individual versus the system. And sometimes the system is better, meaning it's more open to freedom and more open to individuals. And sometimes it's not.
Wow.
And I think that is what was carried through.
I was wrong.
From 1948, 49
there was peak
into
Rubin.
2020. And it feels right now that the system is very against the individual, you know, and
I think that might be.
I don't know. Do you have a better answer on that?
the nonsense spewing from your mouth. It's weird. It was written right after World War II, and I don't know. Maybe because in modern day, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, Trump should be president forever.
Don't know.
To our monarch, Thomas Bone, you are the light that guides our path. To our lords, I'm Rab, Stephen, Ninetails Cosmic Fox, and Hans Josephine, we bow meekly for your pleasure. To our knights of the Round Table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Bythe, Alexander Thaler, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Clement Schutzkopf, Skybear Games, Moss Beast, Political Puppy, Alan R., Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hates Cops, that's solid poon then, we salute you. And to all our merchants and farmers, you have our undying loyalty and love.